Oh yes, South Dakota. North Dakota's meth-addicted little brother. Oh, for a second there I thought they said they had a Saga. Well, that would be something actually in South Dakota, because as we all know, there's nothing in South Dakota. Here we have the entire population. 13 people. I'm going to draw a penis here, don't mind me. As you can tell, I do not know my anatomy. Oh, we're highlighting that! That's good to know. Are we gonna play Custer's Revenge too? Jesus Christ, they all got porn stashes. This is my last letter to anybody. I'm about to lose my hair. This sucks. Uh-huh. Thank you. Oh, finally a narrator! Jesus!
That was the Black Hills of South Dakota in the early 1870s. A hardy frontier.
Not as good as Hardee's or Carl's Jr., but we'll say it was.
Beckoned with a glittering smile, and life hung on the quickness of a trigger finger.
Because God only knows your wife wants to put a cap in your ass.
Gold at Spring Creek, gold at Crook City, gold at Central City.
Gold in my teeth, but what does it matter?
And in the dark depths far below the surface of the earth. For centuries uncounted, men have sought.
Okay, can we stop the blinking shit?
As they did in the
Like,
Black
are you
Hills
giving me
of the
Morse
West
code?
and
What's
beyond.
going on?
Brave men came from the north, the east, the south, the west.
The souls?
By the tens,
Sure.
the hundreds, the thousands.
Oh man, this
They
is when I
tunneled
could
the
use my
mountainside.
cocoa wheats.
They combed the gulches. They strained the rivers, creeks, and streams in their wild quest for gold. But the
I wonder if I keep smoking my pipe, this tumor on my face will go away.
Gold be washed from the coarse gravel
Ah,
of the creek
modern
beds.
medicine.
The placers were worked out. The bewhiskered pioneer
Jesus
with
Christ,
pick,
that looks like
shovel,
me
and
after an
gold
episode of
pan
Twinkle
had
Toes.
served his day. And that day he served well, for he set the stage for a greater era and new
Like
industry,
seriously, I feel like I'm
destined to
watching
take
an
its
anatomy
place
video
with
more than
agriculture
anything
in South
else. Like,
Dakota.
am I looking at the uterus?
Among the men who
I don't
sought
know.
gold in those daring days was Moses Manuel.
Oh, there always has to be a Moses involved when we go into the wilderness. Naturally.
Getting gold out of quartz ore so hard it could not be chipped by a miner's pick. Manuel and his party prospected the winter of 1875 without success.
Mainly because they lost all their fingers and
then,
toes.
On April 9th, 1876, they discovered a ledge, an outcropping of ore.
You know,
that then
a
was
ledge.
termed a lead.
Something that's in
They
every
sank the
corner of
discovery
South
shaft on the
Dakota.
side of a draw, and they called it Homestake Lead. And the mining camp which leaped to life took the name of Lead City.
You mean lead?
The original site of the Homestake mine has disappeared, and in its place has risen a thriving industry geared to modern progress.
Filled with tens
Today,
of people.
Lead is still a mining camp. But a
Come on,
mining
dude. You
camp
can't
with
just
20th
rob
century
Mr. Rogers
tradition.
of his neighborhood.
The Homestake mine is still there, for lead is homestake, and homestake is lead. But mining in
You're
the
telling me
glamorous
lead
days
and
of
steak
yore
are
is
the
a
same
far
thing?
cry
No,
from
one is a cow
complicated
that I can eat.
scientific
The other one is
methods in use
something
today.
that gives me cancer and Superman can't see
It takes more
through.
than a pick and shovel to get gold ore out of the ground now, and more than a gold pan to get the gold out of the ore. Would you like to mine for gold?
No.
Today,
I don't
gold
hate
mining
myself
means
that
raw
much.
materials, men and construction, combined with the science of
Oh,
chemistry
Tolstoy.
and the wonders of modern engineering.
Yes,
all of
I
which
made
are
a perfect
necessary to
circle.
make Homestake
I'm
all
glad I'm the
safe.
lead singer of the band Tool.
New construction, which will take 2 years at a cost of about $3 million to complete.
Golly gee
This
whiz!
complex steel structure, the head frame.
All I've got is a
rises from
nickel.
Man-made mountaintop plateau to reach nearly 150 feet skyward.
It's the tallest building in all of
This
South
massive
Dakota, and we
building,
have to keep
made
all the
with more than
visitors away because we think they'll
800,000
jump.
bricks, steel and concrete. Giant equipment will control the hoisting and lowering of cages which carry men and
It's like
materials.
watching elves create an engine.
This model of the Yates shaft shows what
You
has
said
to be done.
shaft.
The great construction
And it's not even
work
John
underground,
Shaft.
blasted out of solid rock, but it isn't done from the top down.
Oh no, it
Shafts
comes
are
up
cut
from
the
hell.
bottom up. Tunnels, or drifts as the miners call them, are blasted from the solid rock to connect old workings with the exact location of the new shaft.
So you hired somebody to draw
Then the ladder
lines.
moves upward
How
in
much
many
did that
separate
cost?
segments or links, which one by one are merged into a single vertical opening.
So that when you
Precision
throw down a
engineering
cat,
makes
it will
sure the
still
drifts
land on
meet
its
the new
feet when it
shaft
hits
at
the
right
bottom.
places. But it's not as easy as that.
Oh no!
Opening up a
Mining's a
lever
lot
and
harder
placing it
than
in
drawing
proper
lines.
condition for mining requires many months of work. Drilling, blasting, ditching, hauling waste rock.
Like Billy Squire.
More than
He's
3
considered
and
waste
1/2
rock.
million feet of timber, or enough to build more than 200 five-room houses, go into the shaft.
Ooh.
This
That's a lot of
drift
wood going
leads
into
to
that
one of the
shaft,
ore
baby.
bodies. 2 years to finish the
Errol,
job.
you ever think there's anything
Hundreds of men work
homoerotic
under
about
the
what we
ground,
do?
On the surface, high in the air. 2 years of work through the toughest kind of rock.
As I
Millions
drill
of
the
feet of
spot
timber,
till it gets
hundreds of
hot.
tons of concrete and steel.
It's like looking
Thousands
at
upon
South
hundreds
Dakota's version of the Eiffel
thousands of
Tower.
dollars for equipment before one single ton of ore can be taken out. That's what gold mining is today.
God, imagine getting
Where is that
crushed by
old-time
that. You'd be a
pick and
human
shovel now?
waffle.
The new Yates plant, when complete, will look like this several million-dollar Ross plant, built in 1934 with a
When you
shaft
say
where
Ross plant, do you
operations are
mean
now
Bob
being
Ross or
conducted on
Ross
many
Perot?
levels. The levels are spaced 100 feet apart down to 1,100 feet.
Your numbers say different. Did you not know how to do math? I'm a little confused
Then
here.
150 feet apart to the bottom of the mine.
Oh, so you didn't
Now we're
complete your
after
sentence. Don't I feel
Down we
dumb?
go.
Down we go with a bunch of
8-1.
wet men. Life is good.
That's the signal we heard a moment ago.
Bubba
The
booey.
marvels of shortwave radio used for safety in the mining of gold ore.
Yes, it's amazing that anything gets through lead heads. But it
These great
happens,
and
trust
powerful
us.
drums, each holding more than a mile of stout steel hoisting cable in one layer, wind
The only
and
stout I
unwind
really know
rapidly
about
as
is the
cages
beer I
speed
drank
up and
last
down the
night.
shaft, carrying their cargo to a safe haven.
What, North Dakota?
Vertical transportation, lowering human cargo over.
Oh, that's not
4,000
horrifying
feet
in
into
the
earth.
least.
4
This
times
is where
as deep
Shyamalan
as
got the
height
idea
of
for the movie
Empire
Devil.
State Building. Flashes of light are levels. An
Is this one of those
indicating arm
weird
is geared
guess your
with
weight
micrometer
games?
fineness and tells
I never
the operator
won.
exactly where the cage is at all times.
Right now, it's in France.
3,650 feet, 3,800 feet, 3,950 feet.
They are now at the gateway to hell. Congratulations. Tell me how my uncle's doing.
As a modern elevator in perfect safety. Over 2,000 men work for Homestake. The
That's
miners
more
work
than the
in 2
entire
shifts,
state
which are
and
rotating.
Wyoming combined.
Changes in hours for every man.
Hey
At
man, you
Homestake,
catch the Yankees
safety
game last
is
night?
the first consideration. Helmets of light material.
It's like I'm watching the Billy Bob Thornton Appreciation
Work lamps
Society
with a battery
parade.
to keep them lighted
God.
for 8 hours. Steel-toed shoes with spiked soles for safety.
So that you can stomp a mud hole in your buddy's ass.
It is the thorough understanding of their job and an unfailing observance of safety.
Some of these guys have
practices
been
on the
here
part
since
of
the
men
creation of
themselves
Earth.
that have brought the Homestake record to its remarkably low accident rate.
To one a day.
Prospecting,
If we're lucky.
shaft sinking, drifting, raising, cross-cutting, diamond drilling, all preliminary to actual
This
mining
is
of the
so
ore.
dirty.
Here's the air-driven diamond drill.
just imagine
outlining the
breathing this.
gold-bearing rock. Gold ore is mined by 2 methods: the shrinkage stope method without timber, and the square set method.
And
with
drunken
timber.
dynamite, which is more exciting and
These
fun.
miners are climbing into a stope from which the ore is being removed by
Isn't
the
this a
shrinkage
scene
method.
from Teenagers from Outer Space?
Shrinkage stope mining consists of breaking ore away from solid rock. As the
Ooh,
roof of the
they
opening
got
or
creative
stope
here.
becomes higher, the miners use the broken ore as a platform.
I
on
like how
which
they
to
use
work.
constructs on both sides to
Loose
keep it
rock
all
hanging
in.
overhead is pried off with long steel bars. Miners call this barring down.
Wasn't that a
Pneumatic
Village
drills
People
bite
song?
deep into the tough, hard ore to make holes for blasting.
You know,
10
because we
feet
still
into
like to lose
solid
our
rock.
fingers on
Every
occasion.
day, 3,000 steel drills go into the mine. Every day, 3,000
And only 2
steel
come
bits
out.
are taken out for
You
sharpening.
do the math.
Prying down loose rock, drilling holes deep into the ore, and loading the holes for blasting require an 8-hour working cycle.
Because we need this shit. God forbid.
1 million blasting caps to set off 1 million blasts. For nearly 1.5 million.
This is really good if you're not claustrophobic and a pyromaniac.
The blasting is done at the end of the day. Out go the tools, and out go the men to a safe place far from the blast. They light the fuses. The smoke curls up. It's all over.
Been another fun day here.
The cycle.
Yep, we can't afford to show you that part, but trust us, it happened.
To a height of 125 feet, the chamber is filled with broken ore
And broken dreams.
which must be drawn through chutes into 1-ton cars.
You got 16
Strong
tons.
timber planking
What do
and
you
steel
get?
guards protect the loaders from flying ore.
God, this reminds me of my grandma's
1 ton of ore
basement.
to a car, 20 cars to a train.
Pardon me, boys,
20
but
tons of
isn't that the
solid ore and not a
Chattanooga
flake of
choo-choo?
gold
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Locomotives powered by electricity. Locomotives powered by
Ooh,
compressed
fancy
air.
trains.
All run on tracks from all points
But I prefer the
underground.
Quad City
Run
DJ's
regularly on
train.
a complete railway system.
Come on, ride that
80
train.
miles of
Or
steel
ride it.
track to carry equipment, materials,
Okay,
and gold ore.
You know, if you're poking at the wrong thing, it's not gonna
Ore
work.
mined by the
Just saying,
square
bro.
set method consists of
Wow,
timbering
that
to
is
take
a
out
lot
the
of
ore, which
Flintstone
is left in
vitamins.
place to support the roof and sidewalls during shrinkage stope mining.
So they just kind of
These
throw
men
shit
are
everywhere,
working
huh?
under the pillar you saw in the picture a moment ago.
Okay, this is like cleaning out my
The
grandma's
process is
basement.
the same here as in the shrinkage stope method. Drill, blast, and remove the ore.
That's how I like my
Drill
men.
rifle drilled hole in the center of the drill steel. The water does 3 jobs: cools, lubricates, and prevents dust.
Okay, this is 1940,
Down
and
goes
jokes
the ore
aside,
to the
in
loading
South
level
Dakota,
below,
when you say
and
lubricate,
what
it gets you
punishment
3
that
nights in the
timber
pokies.
takes. It has to be strong to stand that pounding. 1 foot square.
But
tough
then again, look at the
timber
guys
from
we
Black
hired.
Hills.
Do you see how bad they're doing right now?
This model shows you what the mine actually looks like. A massive
Okay,
underground
right here you need the
structure
Micro
of sturdy
Machines
timber.
guy selling this.
The higher up the miners
What are we,
drill and
inside the
blast
Rock
away,
Eater's toilet?
the farther
God,
down
that's
the ore
gross.
falls. The miners go up and the ore comes down.
Wow,
In this subterranean
that's so
cavern
ingenious.
are
Thank
supplies
you.
ready for use. Timber for extending the square set structure. Tools, drills, and extra equipment.
Trust me, you got
Standing
2,000
by
tools
on the
working
job
on
for
this
the time
as
it
we
is
look
needed.
at it right now. I think it's
Air
fine.
for power and air for help. Every minute of every day,
Yep, safety. Guess took out my hip.
500,000 cubic feet of fresh air go into the mine, and 500,000 cubic feet come out. Clean, fresh air every minute of the day for every man underground.
You know, because breathing
These
that
men
in
are
New York
working
City
in a
air,
heavy,
there's not much of a
dead
difference.
end away from the main drifts and crosscuts of the mine. But they get plenty of clean air through canvas or galvanized iron ventilating pipes. 4,000
We're saying
feet
that.
underground,
We
but
believe
still
ourselves
there's
when we
air
lie
for
this
the
much,
miners
but you
and
know,
air
it's
for
South
power.
Dakota.
But
Fuck 'em.
why air for power? To drive 500 air drills, 38 air locomotives, small ventilating
Okay,
fans,
that
and
thing
other
in the
equipment.
top right does
Where does it all
not
come
look
from?
kosher.
Why, it comes from here. These great
Hey, it's
compressors
George
run
Carlin when he was
day
Mr.
and
Conductor.
night, furnish high-pressure air for many machines. Water for spraying to keep down the dust. Water from sand used in filling worked-out shrinkage stopes. Water from the earth. Water for the drills.
Water, water
600
everywhere, but
gallons
not
of
a drop
water
to
pumped
drink.
from the mine each minute, or enough for a city of 20,000 people.
Or the entire
And it
state of
all
Idaho.
has to go someplace.
Yep,
But
that's
where's the
rock.
gold? Let's look for it. That's funny. There's none to be seen. It's there, all right, but in minute quantities. 4/10 of an
I
ounce
guess,
to a ton of
whatever.
rock.
To pay me to play with
The
rocks,
ore is
I guess.
hoisted at night. This skip is filled with 8 tons of
Whoa,
ore.
I'm tripping balls. That looks like it's going up.
25,000 pounds of ore and steel at 2,500 feet per minute. All of the new timber used in the mine is lowered
Oh, wow,
through
they take their
shafts.
Lincoln logs
The old
seriously.
and broken timber is hoisted to the surface. More than
Honest,
1,000
it is.
miners are
Just trust
lowered
us
and
on that.
hoisted through the shafts every day.
Hi
This
ho,
heated tunnel
hi ho,
leads directly
it's off
from
the home I
shaft to a
go.
modern
Da, da,
change
da, da, da,
house.
hi ho,
Miners pass
hi
from the
ho.
shaft to this room without going outside. Here, modern facilities
Oh,
guard
daylight,
against
I'd love
sudden
to see it
changes in
sometime.
temperature. Safety precautions on the surface as well as underground. Here's the gold ore again, and what a beating is in store for that rock.
Just
The
like
ore
me
is
and my
on its way
mistress
now to the
after I'm done
gyratory
reading
crusher,
this script.
the first of a series of crushing machines.
Oh,
one
yeah,
machine
hook 'em,
can
Harry.
do the job. So the Simon's crusher now breaks the rocks down to about 2-inch size, like this. It takes
Sure.
power and plenty
Take
of it.
our word for it. It looks
2-inch
like dandruff, but
pebbles from
fine.
chunks of solid rock, but it's only the beginning. From the crusher to the stamp mill, 180 stamps, each with
Wow,
a
that's
falling
quite the
weight of
advanced milker you got there.
1,550 pounds.
He's gotta be a
300,000
limbo
tons of
champion
water
if he has to
are
deal with
used
all
every
that.
24 hours in the process.
Oh,
to
God, when
reduce
you have to
the
fix it,
ore
just
or
beat the
fineness
shit out of it like
the
I
removal of
am.
the gold.
Alright, well, we just ended it with a guy beating stuff. Fine.